セガサターンシロ。
Do you mute the mics?
I need
again?
to be fired. You can fire me right here on air. I did it again.
Don't worry, Dave. We both messed up.
You both knew what was happening. I've done this now. I've done it like 3 or 4 times. Everybody just needs to shut up, and I'll stop muting the mics. Everybody just needs to be quiet when we're doing the countdown. Then I don't have to mute the mics.
Is this like an Aquabats thing? I can't remember. Is this like a?
All right.
Or is this a gang thing? I don't want to get canceled.
For the sake of editing, I'm gonna do this over again. Hey everybody, happy Friday. It's SHIRO Show Live. We're your hosts, SaturnDave and TraynoCo. How are you doing, Pat? How are you doing?
Doing okay. Just doing the sign. I don't know if this is like a sign for anything. Hopefully it's something
like
bad.
The Triforce? You're gonna do,
I guess. Is that like the nerdy gang sign when you
That's the nerdy
see another nerd
sign.
You're like,
yeah,
you like that, and like, do you Zelda?
Gangs of the Wild.
Gangs of the Wild, yeah, exactly. Doing pretty good. I got my classic SHIRO shirt on, the classic,
yeah,
the OG.
do. Nice.
I pulled this out of a drawer. I'm like, you know what? Let's do it. I like it. The only thing is it's fading on the logo, so it's like.
Well, did you get the cheap? Did you get like the basic shirt, or did you get the premium one?
I got the tri-dyed premium. Like I paid like $30 for the shirt.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but I've noticed that some shirts the screen printing adheres to a little better than others. So I don't know.
Yeah. It's all good though. I kind of like it. It looks like those vintage looking shirt things.
Yeah, I like it.
Like, when you go to it's like vintage. Like it's like I found it like in like a thing.
Yeah.
It's like it's chic or whatever.
Yeah. I miss that old logo. I do miss that old logo, but again, I like it because for all the wrong. I mean, it's all. Of course, it's Sega's logo, so of course I'm gonna like it, But
it still lives on in our logo.
It lives on. There you go.
Up there, whatever. I can't remember what corner I'm pointing at. I think it's that one, the second one. Yeah, one of our logos. But yeah, it lives on. It lives on, and I like it. I like our new logo. Out with the old and with the new, like the one band from Tony Hawk's Pro Skater sung about. Out with the old and with the new. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Anyways, but it's pretty good. No new vinyl this week, sadly. Everything has been a pre-order, and because everything's backed up, I'm gonna have to wait.
I got something vinyl related
for it. Oh, really? What'd you get? Let's see it.
I can't show it to you, but one, I ordered a vinyl for Roberto in Portugal. He wanted the House of the Dead vinyl, and he couldn't get it, I guess, in Portugal. So. I'm not an official shipping service, so please don't everybody DM me for that.
Everything.
But yeah, no, I did that, and then also I actually got something for myself vinyl related. I got a bench. I got like this big long bench with a cushion on top, and then several square nooks, I guess, to stick your vinyl. So you can like pick out the vinyl and then look at it and sit on the bench. I don't know. I'm gonna use it as like our taking off shoes, putting shoes on bench, but it's also got like a bunch of space for all my vinyl. So
are you gonna put it underneath there?
So yeah, like it's kind of, it's IKEA, so it's like one of those like blocky kind of like square shelf. It's got like several square shelves, so you can stick your vinyl in there. And that was one of the examples that they were using for it. So I was like, okay, that's cool. I was trying to find like a vinyl rack to put records on, but I couldn't find anything like that. Yeah. At least that was in my price range. So I just went with IKEA.
Yeah, I want to get those the record store ones where it's like you go through it like that. And it's like all stacked up in a row.
Yeah.
I want one of those. That's what I want.
I have a friend who has one of those that's from like the 1950s or 60s. Mm-hmm. It's like retro, and it's got like the rack that leans forward, and so he's able to like, but you can only fit a small like curated selection of stuff in there. You can't like fit your whole collection in there. So I'm still interested in getting something like that to kind of like show it off, but anyway.
Yeah, I just want like a now playing shelf. It'd be kind of cool for now playing.
Yeah.
I used to have the it's like an easel.
Yeah.
But because my TV is like in the way of it now, I can't do that anymore.
Right.
Because like everything's underneath the TV, but besides that, it's pretty good. I ordered like I said, I ordered that. I'm still waiting for that like $500 record I talked about. I think I talked about that on the last show, right? The $500 record I bought.
Yeah, you
whatever.
did. Yeah.
But I also ordered a couple more jazz records. I bought Sidewinder. I bought actually I bought a couple of them, but the one I actually just bought that I'll talk about while I'm looking up the sets I bought is I bought Ornette Coleman's box set from. It's basically all the stuff on Blue Note.
Oh, okay, cool.
So really good stuff. But the stuff I ordered was Art Blakey's Monin, Lee Morgan's Sidewinder, Hank Moby's Soul Station, and Kenny Burrell's Midnight Blue.
Wow, you're like getting deep into jazz. I saw you post you were like looking for somebody to do like a jazz night or something like that.
Yeah.
Locally. That's tough though, because it's kind of, I don't know, like, do you know anybody nearby that's into jazz like that?
Not really. I can't even find like Facebook groups for like Arizona jazz stuff.
Yeah.
So it's like,
well, you've got my problem. I mean, it's kind of like my problem when it comes to like games. There's not a lot of gaming related stuff going on in San Diego for some reason, for whatever reason. We don't really have any retro gaming scene that I'm aware of, you know.
Yeah, and it's kind of funny because like we have two of the biggest jazz vinyl shops in Arizona, the In Groove in Phoenix, and then Record High in Phoenix, which are giant stores dedicated to mainly jazz.
Well, go talk to the people who run the store. I'm sure that they know somebody, right?
I guess, I don't know. I think it'd be kind of awkward though if it's like, hey, do you want to come over to my house, some random stranger, and listen to jazz? I promise I won't axe murder you.
I promise I won't axe murder you. What was that?
Ask them about the kidney size and blood type.
Fair enough. That'll be a requirement to get in. You have to give your kidney size and blood type and how many kidneys you have.
Yeah, this is becoming a thing with us. Every SHIRO show we're starting it talking about like vinyl and jazz and stuff like that. I hope nobody's offended by our love of like proprietary music formats.
I guess, I don't know. Yeah. I think a lot of people actually really dig it. We have a lot of viewers. A lot of people really enjoy it. And actually, Lackware made a good point that he wants to. He'd like to do Discord listening party. And I think I do too. So I think I might aim for maybe March. I might try to do like maybe every Saturday night. I'll get like I'll bring my turntable in here and we'll like listen to records.
Mm-hmm. That reminds me, I really want to look back at the whole internet radio thing again. Now that we got our website, I was thinking about, so for people who don't know, back when we were really heavily focused on Facebook and we were doing a lot on Facebook, much more than we are now. Now I don't even think we bother. but and sorry to those. Post. Yeah, you still post. It's just like I used to be like heavily involved in Facebook, and then I kind of got disenchanted with that whole thing. But we did at one point do an we did at one point do an internet radio. We had like a SHIRO internet radio for like Saturn music and stuff like that, you know. So and people really liked it, but we didn't really have a way to like host it. We were doing it through Facebook's streaming, you know. But I was thinking, you know, maybe now that we have our website, and we might add a tab, and we could figure out something. Just an idea. I know
you can actually have Discord music bots, so I think we could do something like that, where it's like, you have a channel dedicated to it. I know that Radio Sega does that, so we can do something like that, where you just have a bot play music for Saturn stuff, and like have a orchestrated set, and like maybe intertwine our podcast between it, so it's like a listening to Saturn music and like a few songs. It'll be like maybe a podcast hour or something like that.
Yeah.
Replace our old stuff.
Well, anyway, it's an idea. Yeah, I thought, you know, that's another cool thing that we could do. Because I'm thinking about things that we can do for, you know, our listeners, for the community, you know, cool things that we could offer, you know, just to you know, give people something to listen to when we're not blabbering about vinyl or whatever, you know.
Yeah, no, but it's fun. I think a lot of people like it, and I think Lackware brought up that a lot of people went gaga over your mini disc collection. So maybe you'll have to do like a video or something showing off some of your mini disc stuff, or like we do a mini disc cast.
You know what's so funny? I posted a little video on my SaturnDave YouTube channel, which admittedly I don't really post much to that channel. It's just there. It exists so that I can post when I want to. And I got more comments from that mini disc video than I have for like any of my SaturnDave stuff, or any of my streams. And I'm just like, what the heck? That's crazy. I mean, nobody really cares about the Saturn stuff, but like I've got random people who don't even like follow my channel, who I've never heard from before, and they're just like, oh, that's awesome. Post more mini disc videos. I'm just like, seriously?
Honestly, yeah, that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
Like we should, I don't know, like I was thinking like, cause I'd love to do like more vinyl stuff on this channel or my channel, but I don't know, like I'd love to. I think an idea I had is like doing like a vinyl showcase where I showcase one Saturn vinyl or something, and just show off it and like show pictures of it and talk about it, the history of it, the music soundtrack, the game itself. Well, do you have a TraynoCo channel, like a TraynoCo YouTube channel? I do. There's one video on there about the King of Fighters games on Genesis. Okay. The bootleg ones. Well, it just occurred to me that, you could start posting like anything un-Saturn related. You could start posting to that channel, but help promote it through SHIRO. Like TraynoCo is doing his own thing. Here's some of his, and if you like it, follow. And I think that would be good though. Then it's like, people who are not interested in that stuff aren't getting, aren't like hearing it all the time, but people who want to and are interested can follow you. Because I was thinking about doing the same thing with the SaturnDave channel, is just like maybe stuff that's on the sidelines. I don't want to necessarily post on the SHIRO YouTube, but I could post it and then share it in our Discord. Yeah. I think the issue though with the stuff, because I want to do the Saturn vinyl, but I'm not sure if I should post that on my channel or SHIRO, because it's a SHIRO thing. So it's like if it's Saturn vinyl, then that's very specific. That qualifies as SHIRO stuff. Because I don't. Yeah, but if I do like jazz, or I talk about like I don't know, Pokemon or something, I'm gonna do it on that channel. That's sort of my plan. You should though. Yeah, you should. You should post to that channel. I mean, if I'm not subscribed, I should be, but I didn't even actually. I'm probably not subscribed because I didn't know you had a channel. But now that I do, I definitely will. I think you're subscribed to it. I could. Okay, maybe I am. maybe I am. It's I don't post very often, so it's hard. It's easy for people to miss. But I'll post on there, and I will talk about. I'll figure out something to talk about. I've been meaning to do videos, and I've just been kind of bad on it. I've just been really busy recently. Yeah. So we've got 5 people. 5 people in the live chat. You guys need to share out the stream so more people can come in here and check it out. Likes. That's good. People. You want to talk about news? There's not a lot, but we can talk about it. We can. We left off with from TV animation Slam Dunk. I Love Basketball. You streamed that game a little bit. That's pretty fun. Had a really heated conversation. I wouldn't say argument. It was more of a conversation that I thought was really intriguing. If people missed it, definitely should go on there. But it's about the renaming. And now I actually read an article about how Capcom apparently, Konami actually had some legal issues with people with that. Right. So now I don't blame them for changing the names. I don't want to get sued by Konami either. So if you have to do that, then I am now on that other side. I've changed my mind. Right. But I don't want people getting sued, so I don't blame you. So cool. Yeah, so since then, we've had 3 small things, not a whole lot. There's been a lot of Saturn adjacent news going on, but we're pretty much sticking to stuff that like definitely concerns Saturn. If we've missed anything, guys, feel free to let us know in the comments. You can let us know. Get in our Discord and tell us if there's something you want us specifically to write an article about. We can definitely do that. But I know Pat and I have been busy lately, so this is what we've managed this week. Not really big news, but there has been a Satiator update, and if you guys want to stay current, might as well go download it. Version 1.5.8 really just is a small fix to... Okay, why isn't this clicking through? Oh, there we go. There we go. All right, so that was weird. I clicked on it, but it didn't go through. The new Satiator firmware is really just a fix for people who couldn't apply 1.5.7 without their Satiator hanging on boot up.
and I guess this was an issue that affected a handful of people. It didn't affect me. I've been on 157 just fine, but I know a few people complained that they could not use 157 and they had to roll back to 156. So this allows pretty much everybody to benefit from the audio skipping fix of that 157 offered, which was basically better audio and video streaming for slow cards that have like latency spikes. So anyway, for me, I just updated to it because I want to make sure that I'm always on the latest firmware. That way, when another one comes out, I know that. Yeah. So, what were you gonna say?
It's been 11 years. It's about 11 months since the last. 11 months since the last one. So it's like it's been a while though.
Well, yeah. And I mean, again, there I was in his Discord, in Professor Abrasive's Discord, and it sounds like, I don't know, he's going through like a job change or something like that, some personal stuff. I totally get that though. I like literally I totally get the personal life stuff, and that just gets in the way. And I mean, again, your family, your day job, all that is priority. So he wasn't really able to, but he's been getting around to addressing certain fixes and trying to upload firmware updates. So we might see another update soon, in the future, as he's like addressing other things that have been brought up in the Discord channel. But for now, if you guys have no idea what a satiator is, go ahead and check out this review that Pat and Nick did on the satiator. But yeah, no, I mean, so there's that.
You have to put the best update on it though.
Hey, what's that?
The fact that it fixes the power up issue where it will, if you power it up too fast, it'll cause a crash because it's not initialized. Or is that a different thing?
That is not what
I've really never heard of that.
Yeah, I've never heard of that. This 158 fixed. So some people were reporting what they're calling the boot hang with green LED issue. And it was really only, he said it was a small fraction of all satiators. And it was because there's a bug where, or I don't know if you can call it a bug, but most satiators power up with a 0 in a critical bit, but a very few power on with a 1, resulting in random boot failures depending on a combination of firmware version and environmental factors. So, and it's like it seems random because it's depending on like what firmware you have combined with what hardware you have combined with like whether you have a slow SD card or whatever. So it was like people would have these seemingly random boot failures. And this should fix that. And this should allow folks to, even if they're using a cheap, crappy SD card that has latency spikes all over the place, it should be okay. Or, if you invest in a really nice invest in a really good SD card, that's obviously preferable. What were you going to say, Emerald?
As I understood it, I think it was only truly a problem for those with slower, lower latency SD cards. And I think the more recent menu versions allowed you to test your SD card latency on one of the submenus.
It does. But that's the thing is, that's what 157 fixed. 157 addressed the slow SD cards, but some people were not able to use 157 because the firmware crashed their satiators. Okay. So 158
it was a fault on the line in that case of the satiator, right, the individual unit itself. Okay.
So basically, this news article is for anybody who's still running 156 and hasn't been able to upgrade to 157. Just skip over 157 and download this newest one, 158, and you're good to go. You're basically in the same boat as everybody else now. But it's just a handful of people who were not able to benefit from 157 due to that issue. So it's news. It's news because some people are probably out there that qualify. Yeah. So anyway, and like I said in the article, if you're just OCD like me, download it anyway. Next up, we've got this Pretty Fighter X. Can you tell me about this game? Because I'm going to be honest with you right now, I don't know anything about this game.
Well, usually I don't either, but actually this is rare because this is actually one of the games I actually do indeed own.
Nice.
Like I usually don't own these games, but this one I actually own. This one, this is an interesting game. This one is, I think it's by, what company is it by? It's by Imagineer. I'm not sure exactly what games they have done in the past. In all honesty, but it's a 2D fighter like Street Fighter, but it's of course pretty girls with weird powers. Controls are pretty interesting. The game is just really funny and silly. It kind of reminds me of Street Fighter 2 on the TurboGrafx 16.
Okay.
If you guys ever played that one, that one's probably not a lot of people's probably play that. It's a pretty bad game, but there's also a sequel that I've learned of. I think it's like something X or something. I forgot the name of the game, but it's a sequel to it, and apparently I did not know that existed. I need to. I can't remember what the name of the game was, but it has a sequel to it. I did not know that. Somebody brought it up on the SHIRO website, and I was like, I did not know that.
I didn't know that either. But what platform?
It's the sequel's on. It's also on the Saturn.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I have to look it up, but apparently it did have a sequel. I'll see if I can find it on Twitter. Maybe it was on there. Somebody posted.
Looking at the art style.
Yeah.
So you said who was?
It's the Fist.
The Fist. Okay.
The Fist.
The Fist.
Okay.
Very interesting name for a game for a pre-fighter sequel. The Fist.
Yeah, the art style reminds me of another Saturn game called Ninku Tsuyokina Yatsura no Daigeki Totsu. It's like another fighter with like this kind of anime style. It's actually based on an anime, but that's by Sims, so I guess it's not the same company. But that's why I was like thinking that they were related somehow. Who was the developer for this one?
Imagineer.
Okay.
But yeah, I really like it's kind of basic. Mine doesn't have the obi or anything. Oh shoot, the disc almost flew out. I don't have the obi or anything, just like that stuff. So like it's got a very pretty manual. It has all the characters in it. So you got let's see the characters' names here. Let's see, we got Oyuki Marin, Akasaka Juri. Right there are those two characters. Very flattering characters. Got Suratori Kuritsu, it's the nurse, and Kuri Ryuki, which is the kimono lady. So two people fighting on the roof.
So would you say that it's good? Like compared to, other fighting games on Saturn?
I probably would not play it over Street Fighter or King of Fighters or Waku Waku 7. Or Street Fighter Alpha 1, 2, and 3.
How would you say? So are you saying it's literally like bottom of the barrel? How does it compare against like Asuka 120, or how does it compare against like
it's
the
like
Sailor
below
Moon?
Asuka 120 and Groove On Fight.
Okay.
So apparently the controls are kind of on it.
Okay.
Like I played a little bit.
This game.
Yeah, no, it's definitely the best of. It's a great game, no.
Yeah.
But yeah, from my understanding, it played decently.
Mm-hmm.
But I suck at fighting games, so I don't know if the inputs are my fault or the controllers. But it felt pretty good playing with a stick, at least from what I remembered. But
I'm not gonna lie, I don't like that hashtag, the best of Saturn. So Peter's done hundreds of these now, and when he started out, he literally was posting the best of Saturn, and then it was like it kind of like morphed into like, well, let's just spotlight every Saturn game, and in fact, let's start getting into the weeds and like showing people games that they've never seen before. And I mean, a couple have been like real turds, so they're not like the best of Saturn at all.
To be fair though, I think best of Saturn I've taken as like the decently the playable tier of Saturn, like because there's a lot of non-playable stuff, but I don't know, the name just stuck too much, so we can't change it now. It's too late.
I guess not. I mean, Congo was on the best of Saturn, and I like Congo, but a lot of people would disagree. A lot of people would call that fake news. They would say, "Wait a second,
it's not the best of."
They would disagree, and you were objectively wrong. You don't actually like Congo. It just tricked you into thinking that.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, some people like it. I really enjoyed playing Pretty Fighter. So,
I mean, you bought it. You bought it after all.
Technically, it was a gift, but we'll say that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I totally don't play it for the eye candy. That's for sure. It's just the gameplay.
Right. Okay.
Gameplay, but
I gotcha.
But yeah, it's yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I kind of agree that maybe the best Saturn isn't the best of Saturn to use.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I don't know, it's too late to change it. We've been doing it for about a year and a half, like over 2 years now. So
Right.
we can't change it now. We've gone beyond.
Would you like my opinion on it?
Yeah, I would love your opinion.
No.
Okay, no, it is. No,
Just joking. Let's hear it.
when you guys say best of Saturn, I take it as you're picturing or you're showcasing the best features of that game you're reviewing.
I didn't think of it that way. I've thought of that, actually. That's a good point. Like
the very charitable spin.
No, that's a charitable spin. I'll take it. I mean, again, I know that that's not what Peter intended when he first started the series, but I mean, that works. We can use that. But yeah, I mean, it's like you can only share so many A-list games, and then you do have to start getting creative. So, and I mean, again, like I love the fact that Peter's always showing us, well, like, look at this. I mean, Slam Dunk, for example, there were a lot of people that didn't even know that game existed, you know. If we go back down,
I like it.
World
it's like
Series
a spotlight
baseball.
of the obscure games that you didn't expect. Yeah,
absolutely. So anyway, I mean, I definitely love the series.
Actually deserves to be best of. That's a pretty good game. So,
how many times have I seen this picture on our website? Let me see here.
I mean,
the cotton tube boomerang.
We did like 5 articles on it. So
tell me about it. Can we talk about some controversial news? No, I'm just
okay. Controversial, getting
controversy,
canceled here. I'm excited. I want to get canceled. Just throw me in the trash. All right. So, as we talked about in our several articles about the game, I think I literally quoted 3 in the first sentence of the article. So we had the one we talked about when it was released. We had the frame input lag, and then the announcement of the patch. But now we're going to be talking about the release of the patch, which came as a shadow drop. They didn't say anything about it. But as of yesterday, February 10th, City Connection finally released the patch for all the systems to address the input lag, on top of adding a few new features into the game. So some new features they added into the game were added scan lines to the game, speed up the loading, ability to speed up the loading, the fast loading. They have the being able to set unlimited continues in cotton boomerang, it's cotton 2 and Guardian Force, which I think is most needed because you lose that. But it also is in cotton boomerang, so all of them have infinite credits. So if you just want to set it and forget it and just shoot away, you can, which sometimes I like. It's fun.
Right.
But and of course the biggest feature was the input lag has been improved. So and this is going to affect the Switch and the PlayStation 4 versions that have all been released. But yeah, they managed through what I don't know what they did, but they managed to reduce the input lag on all consoles from about 1.5 to 2.5 frames. Well, they removed about 1.5 to 2.5 frames of lag. So as you see in the article down there, it shows the boxes and the lag that they lost. Like Cotton 2's they lost about 1.4 frames of lag, Cotton Boomerang 2.1, Guardian Force 2.4, and they have it on the same numbers for the PS4 version. And while it's not a huge loss from the original massive 11 frames of lag, I mean, it makes it at least a little bit more playable if you didn't think it was before.
Mm-hmm.
But probably not, because in all honesty, the original games had lag to begin with. So on top of the lag within the game itself, like on the original disc image, so if you play it on Saturn, for example, it's gonna lag. That's not
with a wired controller.
Yep.
Okay. How much lag does the game have with a wired pad?
If I had to take a guess, maybe 2 or 3 frames. If I this isn't scientific. I
really
didn't do any measurements or anything. But if I had to take a wild guess, probably about 2 or 3 frames of lag. But I think that's pretty common from what I've understood with the STV. Really? I don't know why. Huh. I don't know why. I literally don't know why. But it's just the way it is with it.
I didn't even know that. I didn't even know that. So that's amazing. I mean, I mean, I believe you, but I'm just saying, I've played Cotton on the Saturn several times, and I didn't perceive any lag. That I did perceive lag. To be honest with you, I did perceive lag with the Retrobit wireless controller, just a tad. But I guess it's just because you are adding lag when you go wireless, you're adding lag no matter what. It's just, and whether or not it's perceivable really comes down to are you playing a shmup that requires pinpoint precision? then you kind of notice it. But I didn't realize that those STV games had lag. So you're saying that you already have like 2 or 3 frames of lag with the game as it is, and then here you're adding like 5 frames essentially.
Yeah, I don't even know like if the 11 frames count for the lag in the game itself. So I don't know, like that might even make it worse, but I don't know. But like I said, I just know that it's known that there's been a little bit of like it feels sluggish. Like if you play it, you notice after a while that it has some input lag, especially if you play compared to an STV board.
Right.
So I honestly have no idea. Like, but I guess that's probably as much as they're probably gonna get it down to.
Right.
It's kind of a sadness, really, because I think the emulator is quite good.
Yeah.
But I think it'd be better for like RPGs, like if they ported like Soccer Wars or they ported like any of the Lunar games with it. I think that'd be perfect. Yeah. That'd be great.
It's weird too, though, because we believe this is based on SSF, right?
That's the belief, is that it's an SSF emulator essentially.
And I mean, I definitely have played SSF like on a PC with even like modest to decent hardware, and SSF runs like really, really good, like almost lag free, to be honest with you, even when you're using like a keyboard. So I'm really surprised that I don't know if it's something having to do with like the hardware that it's running on, but that's weird because
SSF is known for lag.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's known for lag. Okay, well, I don't know.
So why did they go for SSF? I mean, there's multiple cores out there to use. Is this a license issue? Is a license for SSF available commercially and the others aren't?
It could be because SSF is one guy, right? I mean, so they only really have to deal with one guy versus all the other ports out there, which are basically like. Or all the other cores out there, which are basically like community things, right?
Yeah, I think when they looked into it, I think they found that it used like a wrapper for Unity. So people are thinking that they probably somehow loaded the app inside of Unity and then loaded that onto the Switch. So that might be
interesting.
Another reason. At least that's what I found when I looked into it. So. It's a good chance that might be an issue with it as well, that's causing all that lag. But this is only speculation. I don't have any solid numbers for you guys. I'm sorry, I don't.
That depends, because I've dealt with that with Unity, and there are ways to hook right into the native library of whatever you're using. So I don't think that's the cause with the lag.
Yeah, no, this is just speculation, so I have no idea if that's the truth or not, but... it could be one reason, and this is the fact that SSF's laggy to begin with, and having a wrapper around that with Unity probably doesn't help the situation.
Yeah. And I mean, it doesn't bode well for Galactic Attack either, if that's going to be, the same kind of situation. And I mean, that's a game that I'm much more familiar with than even Cotton. I mean, I'm pretty familiar with Cotton, and I know you really are, Pat. But I mean, Galactic Attack, it's like, I'm going to be able to tell the difference if that game has a lot of lag, because that's one of my favorite go-tos, on the Saturn, on real hardware. So, and I think Nick, he's a big fan of Galactic Attack as well. In addition to like games like Darius and stuff. So I'm just wondering, I'm just curious. Yeah, I'm excited to see, definitely. I'm hoping for the best. But again, if this is an emulation situation, and I mean, well, it is. It's not a port. It's emulated. So it really just comes down to like how much are they able to optimize that emulator on the hardware.
Yeah, it's messy, but apparently Strictly Limited Games posted that, and I think it's Danthrax posted about it, that they're going to increase they'll include the lag fix within their physical game of it, and the disc and the image. Whenever that drops is whenever, so hopefully soon.
Oh, okay.
But they'll be able to get that, so have no fear. And then, and of course,
What? Nothing.
Oh, another tidbit that they had is that it also got a Shadow Drop release on Steam today.
Yeah.
the entire bundle and each individual game. So if you want to buy them individually, if you don't want to buy all of them, or you just want Guardian Force or both the Cotton games, you can. And it's fairly priced, about $43. It's actually on sale technically right now, so if you want to buy that. And then they also announced in the post below that it actually come to the Xbox One, and I think it's the second quarter, the first half of 2022, so within the next few months. Cerulean, don't worry about the physical release. It's not really that big of a deal because like the Japanese version of it is the exact same thing. And at least you have it. It came out like the day it released compared to Strictly Limited. But I'm not getting to like attack against the distributors or anything. I'm just saying that I mean, you got it physical first, so you don't have to wait months to play it. At least that's my view of that. So
right.
Yeah, but no, you can check out the Steam version in the thread, and then also check out the full press release in the article as well. So both those going to be
right
there for you.
Cool.
But yeah, I think that's it for the news.
That's it for news. Yeah.
Do you want to bring up anything Saturn related? Is there anybody in the chat you guys want to talk about? Like, we should talk about the SSF, the Polymega stuff. I think people that don't know about that. So I guess to get a little background, the devs in the chat will probably know better than me, especially Knight, since he's technically working for him. But we saw a post online.
Not working for them.
Oh, not working with. Oh, sorry, I meant working with them, not for them. You're not working with them yet, or working for them yet, or is that still up in the air?
No, I'm not working for them at all. We talk to each other, and they're going to implement the SSP into Polymega after I get finished writing up all the documentation for it. So they have my blessing. They'll do all the code. I won't do anything. So they could have at it. I am more than happy for them to support it.
Nice. Yeah, so that's actually the first news. I didn't hear about you actually now get letting them use that. I did not know that. I know that you were in talks, but I didn't know that was a thing. So that's first big news here. So yeah, hear it first. We're probably gonna write an article about that once it is implemented. Ignore that share thing falling. But yeah, for those who don't know, that we saw a thread somebody posted about the Polymega stuff, and apparently somebody's been converting the patches from SSP to X Delta on I can't remember who it was exactly, but so it can auto patch. And the guy saw it, and we reached out like, hey, you know what? And Knight was like, yo, why don't we get the SSP to be able to auto patch, so that way people can use the format that Saturn's using, so that way there's no confusion, there's conflicts, and everyone can use the same thing. And it's always good to be on the same page, you know what I mean? I
agree. Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
I don't want to confuse people. The thing is, we really want people using SSP moving forward. So it's like, in order to do that, we need to make sure that it's that way on all platforms, so I think that's good.
Yeah, no, it's pretty exciting.
The SSP format is incredibly convenient. I figured out how to make a patch in like 2 seconds after I actually opened it up.
Really?
Yeah, so it's really just like drag and drop. And I feel like if I needle Knight enough, he'll make it like so stupid easy that like a McDonald's menu type deal that we keep joking about will actually happen, where you literally don't have to think about anything. You just press the patch button, and whatever game you want to patch will like just be patched.
Right.
Set it and forget it.
Yeah. I don't want to talk for Knight. I'm just saying, like, it's been so simplified compared to what you used to have to do. Like, if anyone goes to see my tutorial on how to patch some games, you see me blow through like 15 SSPs, and then all of a sudden I get to Dragon Force 2, and the stream just halts for half an hour. It's,
yeah.
It's a silly improvement.
Yeah, but it's really great that we actually have you guys working on Knight working on those SSPs, so that way we can, have it drag and drop. There's no excuse anymore. I think we always talked about that everyone can get the SSPs, and now it's like perfect. as perfect as it can get in terms of the ease of use. So there's no reason to not patch your games anymore. There's no like you have to rip out the track 1 of this disc and insert into this thing and then
convert to
X
ISO.
Delta.
All that business that we were doing. I mean, and every game is different too. Like some games would be like super simple, and then some games, so there was no consistency either. That's the thing, and that's what gets confusing.
Yeah, nowadays that I think it's pretty much everything's on SSP now. Like everything in terms of that's been released. Is there anything that's still like using X Delta?
So Dragon Force 2 has not been updated. I don't think the creator has. I don't think anyone's gotten a hold of the creator to get him to update.
Well, I've reached out to them, but they haven't got back to me yet. So, if any of these old school patch creators are out there, come talk to us, and hopefully we can get them switched over with their blessing.
Yeah, because we got even like Ninpen, the first one, as an SSP now. So it's just amazing,
Right.
And I think I don't want to like gloss over that one point that Knight said that I think always kind of gets ignored is we don't want to touch someone else's patch without their blessing out of respect for their work, which is part of the. I mean, I'm not trying to start any fights with Polymega, but that's part of the reason why Knight had to reach out to Polymega is because this kind of thing was happening. I don't know who was doing it. I mean, like I said, I'm not trying to start.
I don't think they were associated with Polymega. I think it was just some random guy on their Discord.
So I'm not trying to blame Polymega. I don't really care. It's just some emulator. I don't hate emulators. I use them. I dev with them. But yeah, some random guy messing with someone else's work without at least reaching out to the guy that made the work it feels a little bit dirty.
Yeah, I agree. That's
yeah, to be fair though, I don't think Polymega even knew about the work that we've been doing or like was in the know, which I'm surprised about. Really.
No, I don't blame them because they're busy making a product, and none of us here.
Yeah.
And that should be stressed. Like the only people actually making money in Saturn are not making money just in Saturn. They're making money in Saturn as on the side of making money on other retro consoles, because the Saturn scene is still very small. So like they're not going to be in contact with us because they're too busy actually running a business, and none of us are running businesses and we're interested in running businesses.
Right.
So I don't blame them.
All right, a little disclosure. Yeah, they knew. They know who I am, and you know how opinionated I can be.
Okay. Oh, okay. Did you get into a small Twitter fight or Facebook fight or something with them or something?
Well, not with them directly, just people on their Discord.
Oh, okay.
Miscommunicating my sarcasm and my
Oh yeah.
What the hell's the other word I'm thinking of? So tired right now.
Your jokes.
My facetiousness.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like that time you got banned from threatening to kick your own ass.
Yes.
He got zucked. That's the good zuck right there.
I know.
For those, yeah.
Knight likes to get ornery and it's hilarious, but not in like an aggressive way. He's just he's just trolling on his own behalf to himself.
He's like a lovable teddy bear. Yeah. He just wants a hug.
For those who don't know, you pronounce his name as whole. No, but that's actually what he has on his Facebook profile. I dig it.
Yeah, but I'm glad we got it sorted out. Sorry,
I'm about to say some of the members, because of that miscommunicated, gave the wrong impression to that team. But now I'm talking with them, and we're all good. We're all happy. We're one big happy family.
Cool.
Getting work patches out for everybody.
Yeah, hopefully that gets generated, because remember I pointed out that one guy, like literally you have people saying, "Oh, Knight has a vendetta against Polymega." Like nobody hates an emulator. Nobody cares if another emulator comes out. Why are you saying that? Why are you making things up?
Yeah, no, I mean, we have to admit we were critical during the before when it was still in pre-production and all that stuff. But now it's released and it's available and people are getting it. It's like it's water under the bridge. Just
I mean,
concerns, but like we don't begrudge anybody that uses it. And Dave, I think Dave even wanted to get one at one point, right? Or you're still interested in getting one, right?
Getting a Polymega?
Yeah, because I remember you said you want like an all-in-one solution in your living room.
Well, yeah, but okay, so yes, but the Mister is also could also be that, you know. So it's kind of like,
Yeah.
First of all, who actually has a Polymega right now? People who have like demo units or whatever, right? And then second of all, it's like I said I wanted the Polymega, but I think that was like 2 years ago, 2 or 3 years ago. So it's like
I think they're available now. People can buy them.
Okay.
I think people actually have them in their hands.
I don't think they can buy them. I think the Kickstarter people got theirs.
right.
Okay. That makes sense.
I mean, essentially, I wouldn't say no to one, but I just don't know how hard I'm gonna try to get one. You know, because it's
Makes
just it's just like, yeah, okay, it's a really slick emulator box. I do like the front end. I do like the front end, and I like how their specific like title curation and all the extra details that they've gone in and added, and the box art and stuff like that. So I like that. I like their flavor of like front end curation. I think it looks better than, you know, it looks better than anything you're going to get on like a Raspberry Pi. But again, like, do I like it 300? How much is it? 400?
I think it was 300.
300. Okay.
I can't remember.
For the base unit. Yeah, so I don't know. Anyway, it's just not it's not anything I'm gonna like pursue. But I mean, if I see one come up on offer, you know, I might grab it or something. I don't know. I'm not telling people not to support it. If you're all about it and you want it, you know, go. You do you
support it. Yeah.
But I've literally got
exactly.
I've got so many ways to play these games. I'm just not like aching for it right now. You know.
Yeah, and I feel kind of bad because I think it's definitely a part of the community now that's growing a bit that I think we kind of glossed over, which
right.
I think that's something we should focus on once it becomes available. I think it's important because I don't know. I think there's no wrong way to play Saturn. If you're playing the Polymega, we're not gonna shame you for it. I mean, it's a cool thing, and it's cool that you could play it on your living room in HD right now, or like just plug into an HD TV and set it and forget it, and that's fairly good from what I've heard. So right. I mean, and not to mention it. It's not a
Coleco Chameleon. I can tell you that it's not it's not an Amico. It's not an Amico. What like?
You don't have Tommy Tallarico attacking us on Twitter.
Well, I mean, okay. So to be fair, though, to be fair, I'll speak to SSG. I'll speak to Sam's. You know, he says it's $450 for the base unit. Okay. So that's still for somebody. First of all, adjusted for inflation. I mean, the Saturn was $400 when it was announced. And I mean, come on, like that would be a lot more than $450 nowadays. So I think what I'm saying is if you're somebody who's trying to get back into games and you love retro games and you want to be able to play a ton of shit and you don't have all the stuff that we take for granted, I would say it's a nice box, and it's got a lot of support. And I like the slick front end. So I think that it's for some people. For me personally, my interest in it has waned and kind of fallen off as time has gone on. I think it would have been an impulse buy for me 2 years ago, and now it's not as much, you know?
I just want to make a quick point just on the general scope of, startup hardware development, especially as of the last 3 years or so. It's not easy getting a new piece of hardware out and spun up, even supply chain issues aside. Right. But really, what I see a lot of that feels like unwarranted is, yes, there's a lot of Kickstarter crap, and yes, there's a lot of game-related, not like scams, but just like, you know, minimum viable product, take the money and run kind of schemes.
Right.
I Kickstarted on Shroud of the Avatar. I can relate. But I see a lot of disproportionate hate from people waiting for some piece of really niche hardware to come out from some guy that has a day job and could never, ever possibly make this his primary source of income. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, specifically, the Polymega is a good example. Professor Abrasive got like a ridiculous amount of hate for just taking a while to single-handedly reverse engineer the CD block.
Right.
I mean...
There's a sense of entitlement in the gaming community. There's a sense of entitlement for sure.
Yeah.
And I mean, again,
and the same sense of entitlement extends to the price too. Like people don't understand how expensive it is to spin up a new fabrication process, or not fabrication. They're not like printing. They're not doing lithography, but they are getting a miniature, manufacturing setup going on. They're having to do quality checks. They're having to test. People don't realize how much business building there is in making a new piece of hardware and actually getting it quality checked for a customer.
Yeah, and the chip shortage is for real. I mean, if anybody thinks that's it's not like everybody. It's like if you're the kind of person that doesn't think the chip shortage is real, you probably don't think global warming is a thing either. But I'm just telling you right now,
You're wife is everybody today, dude.
my wife is an electrical engineer, and she has had to like fly by the seat of her pants on so many different projects and use chips that she wouldn't have used as like kind of like non-ideal replacements for what the design was originally. She's had to like rework so many different PCB layouts to use like an alternative chip that's more expensive and not as ideal as the one that she designed the board for, because things are just unavailable. So it's kind of like companies are just like using whatever they can get their hands on, because there's such a shortage right now in silicon. So you have to believe. I even believe Tommy Tallarico when they say that, but you can only say that so many times. If it's going to be delayed even further, you just need to be quiet and stop making promises, if you really can't see how long this is going to be an issue,
Yeah, and it's just a messy situation, because even like everything's backed up. Like if you want a vinyl record pressed, you're not getting that until 2023 at the earliest. Right. So like I ordered that Persona set last year when that went up. Yeah. They said, that's going to be the end of 2022. It's like, wait, what the heck? Like if you check pre-orders for stuff, it's going to be a while if it's not like if they don't have their own manufacturing plant, because everything's backed up. Optimal's backed up. Palace is backed up. Name a pressing plant, it's probably backed up. So like everything that's, and not to mention stuff is actually rushed out depending on labels. So like Adele stuff obviously is going to take precedent over, like Alice in Chains or like something like Persona. Right. That's just the reality of it. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
You know what's really bad? When Canon is taking the DRM off their ink.
Oh geez. Oh yeah. They did. Oh my god.
Yeah. Because they could print the boards to do the DRM on the cartridges.
Wow, we are screwed then. But yeah, it's just literally everything you can think of is backed up. Every industry, not to mention the whole strike up in Canada and the chip shortage. Like people are like, my sister works in retail, and she was saying that we literally just got the stuff that we were supposed to get for Christmas, and we can't do anything with it because it's like the demand's not there for it anymore. So it's like they're just sitting there. It's ridiculous. Everything's completely backed up, and it's an unprecedented time in society. Like this is like the gas shortage of the 70s. We're talking about that now. This is the gas shortage of the 2021s. Even then, you can even argue there is a gas shortage of the 2000s or the 2020s, whatever.
Sure. I will say,
sorry, I can't speak right today.
I will say that I admire the Polymega team for sticking with it and bringing it to market and following through. I think that on its own merit, it's a good product. Okay, so I don't want that to be confused. Like I think that by itself, it's a good product. It's even one that, like I said, at one point I was like feeling like I was just gonna drop whatever on it. But again, like time has gone by, and I have certain expenses. We had a pandemic happen. There's a lot to consider now. Things have changed. I'm just not in the same place I was 2 years ago when I was just thinking about dropping $400 on this thing without a second thought. So again,
there's like minus one kid and minus the moving and minus all the other stuff.
Right. And I mean, it's impressive what they've been able to do in terms of Saturn emulation. But then again, in that matter of time, we've also seen impressive progress on the Saturn core for Mr. So, it's like all these things going on in my head are making me think like, okay, I kind of still want a Polymega, but I don't need it this instant. I can kind of sit back and see how this all plays out. That's for me personally, but please don't let me discourage you from buying it if you want it out there. Just You do you. It's fine. I've got way too many game consoles, my wife tells me. So I am not I'm not wanting for something to play games on, you know.
So what's the Polymega do besides Saturn? It has multiple consoles.
PlayStation, Neo Geo CD, Saturn. It does PC Engine. It does
CD.
The PC Engine CD. Sorry. What else? Sega CD. It does like any of the CD, like 5th generation CD
you're just
consoles.
talking about the base unit here.
Yeah, I'm talking about the base unit because that's what you have to drop 450 on. Yeah.
And the expansions, apparently N64 has been announced. They have a Super Nintendo and Genesis, but like I think those are not released yet. I have not seen any modules of that, so I don't know.
Right.
And I don't follow the project, sadly. So honestly, I think it's kind of sad. Like I think Ben was also into it, but he canceled his pre-order too. Right. So honestly, it's something that we want to cover and go into, but like we just don't. Like I said, we just don't have the 400 to spend on that, and like they never really reached out for like demo units to try it out, so we can't really talk about it.
We can't really talk about it. What?
Patreon link in the description.
Yeah, if you that's a good segue. If you back some Patreon, you can make that happen. But it definitely is a sadness because we do want to cover it. We don't hate the system. We want to give it a fair shake. But I mean, when there's no system to cover and like barely anybody's getting them, it's hard too. So like I imagine when it's readily available, one of us will pick it up and we'll be able to do some more covering on it because it's something I think is important to the scene. And really the only reason that we cover the things we do like Mister is because I mean like I have one and Dave is interested in getting one. So I mean we're all interested in that space because we actually have them. So
if you guys, if as our listeners, you guys want us to get a Polymega so we can cover it, then let us know, and maybe you can chip in, and then we'll pass it around and have everybody try it, and then maybe we can give it away as a prize or something like that. I don't know. I'm literally talking out of my ass. But speaking of our Patreon supporters, we only have like 2 minutes left. We should probably thank them.
I'll wrap that up.
Yeah, we should wrap it up.
Talk about Broke real quick, or
well, okay, let's do that. I just we were running out of time.
I'm not doing a a gameplay thing anyway, so we can talk about that.
So Emerald did a stream.
It's out, it's out. Go look at it.
Go support. Wait, so if you want to, you can become a Patreon supporter of Sega Extreme, right? And then you'll have exclusive access to it right now. Bastard Baroque. Is that correct, Emerald? Yeah.
So it's very far from complete. It's just basically playable if you just want to play the game part of the game without understanding what's going on. I'm planning on doing like an update every weekend or two just to finish filling in text.
Right.
But remember that the bastard part of Baroque is the fact that I'm fitting the text inside Japanese character limits and not doing too much work beyond that until I get the time to actually do a real translation with Knight. But for now, you can read the items in the descriptions and you can figure out what they do, and probably another update sometime this weekend to finish up the last few items.
Gotcha. So I guess I'm gonna have to go back Sega Extreme and try that out then.
So like if you want to like throw $1 at Sega Extreme on Patreon, and then Dibs will take like probably like within 24 hours add you to the Patreon or donor list or whatever, unless he's already fixed that issue where he doesn't have to do it manually, then you can go to the patron downloads portion of the resources on SegaExtreme.net.
Cool. Okay.
But you can see my recent stream. I think it's still on Twitch. I got to push it over to YouTube. But I did a recent stream showcasing what the game is actually like. I mean, honestly, the more I play it, the less I like it. But I got to finish it now that I started.
That's sad. That sounds like a Death Mask with Shadow Mask. It's like the more I play this game, the less I like it, or something to that effect. And I can understand because
I feel like there was a bait and switch because I saw a first-person action RPG and I got a roguelike.
Yikes.
Right. Yeah. But I mean, I like roguelikes, and I personally like Baroque, but I understand it's not what you were expecting, and that always weighs a review. If it's not what you were expecting. Yeah, so I can understand.
I've been having like Elder Scrolls withdrawals, and I thought this was close enough for me to want to work on it. And now I'm going back to my no one is ever going to do another Elder Scrolls.
Don't worry, we'll get Elder Scrolls 6 in 2029, maybe.
Oh boy. Right after the next re-release of Skyrim and another update to 76.
Exactly. You can maybe 76 will be good by that time, or probably still not. It'll still be the broken mess that I saw people waiting in line at E3 for.
My goodness.
My favorite. But anyways, talking about Patreon, go back the Sega Extreme Patreon and get that game. I know I'm gonna as soon as the stream ends, so I can cover it probably on the next game stream. Maybe Emerald.
Please don't distribute the pre-patched image, because the other haven't bothered trying to get legal issues into it, but like we've been having those kinds of issues, and I might actually be inclined to hire a lawyer to track down someone distributing the pre-patched image, because the last thing I want to do is see a cease and desist where I'm just gonna go like straight up quit the Saturn scene if that happens.
Yeah, I mean, support Sega Extreme and download it, but don't share it. Encourage people to support Sega Extreme, because it's $1, and you're helping them, and then you get to play a free game that somebody worked on. Sounds like a fair trade.
Yeah, sounds good to me. $1 for that. I pay $1 for that. But yeah, I'm gonna we'll talk about that.
I buy that for $1.
Oh, yeah. I need to watch RoboCop again. I'm sorry.
I missed the opportunity. Okay, go for it, Pat. You gotta get our Patreon supporters in there.
Sounds good. All right. So before we go, need to thank, of course, Emerald Nova in the chat. Love you, dude. Johannes Fetz, Blue Moon, Derek, aka A-Team, Momphis, Nutrageous, Tanuki Trev, and Young Money Sowie. Thank you for your $10 and above Patreon supports. And if you want to get shouted on the show, go on the video description below. We have our Patreon. If you back us at the $10 level and above, we will shout you on the show. If you get the $20 level, you get like all the good stuff, like all the VIP access, be on the show quarterly, which we're gonna get Emerald on eventually, trying to get him fit in the schedule. And yeah, it's really good. And if you don't want to back us on Patreon, you'd rather do like a one-time transaction, you can back us on our Threadless store. So Sega Saturn SHIRO Threadless, or SHIRO Media Group Threadless, whatever the link is, I can't remember. It's on our webpage. It's also below in the description as well. Got some good shirt designs. You want to rep us like me, except your shirt actually is not like all like that. Go buy a Threadless shirt, and go to cons and wear them and let people see some good designs right there. So go there and go get a shirt if you like our show and want to rep us. And then of course, if you can't back us financially, you can also just share us out, like, subscribe, comments, rate the video, share us out, ring the bell, ring-a-ding the bell to get notified of all our streams.
Ring-a-ding-ding.
Ring-a-ding-ding-ding, whatever the Crazy Frog song thing. But I think that's about it. I just want to thank everybody that makes the show possible, and all you cool people in the chat that talks, and of course all the devs that work their ass off. So thank you very much.
Thank you guys.
Much love.
Absolutely.
I think that's about it, right?
Until next time, just reminding you that you must play Sega Saturn. Peace.
SEGA SATURN SHIRO